Leveraging user personas to guide product development. So what is a persona? A persona in user-centered design and marketing is a fictional character created to represent a user type that might be using your site, brand, product, or service in a similar way. The Nielsen-Norman Group identifies a persona as a fictional yet realistic description of a typical or target user of a product or service. A persona is an archetype instead of an actual living human, but personas should be described as if they were real people. These are examples of what a persona may look like. They focus on providing a holistic representation of what customers from a particular segment would experience, what their goals are as it relates to your product or service, what they like and dislike, and the types of channels they may engage with the most. The purpose of a persona is to create reliable and realistic representation of your key audience segments. So how are personas different from market segments? It's important to emphasize that personas and market segments are not the same. However, persona creation relies heavily on market segmentation. In order to create personas, you need to understand the market segmentation and the various customer profiles as they relate to your project. Segmentation and all that it entails is the means to generate the persona. However, personas lift these segments by providing a richer picture of a typical customer within that segment, giving life to their personality and to their values. A persona is often digestible and memorable, while a market segment may seem impersonal, difficult to remember or reference. So, should you use a persona? Well, a deep understanding of a target audience is fundamental to creating exceptional products and services. If you're looking to fill any of the following gaps, then creating personas is likely right for you. Whether you need a way to summarize audience details so that you and your team can design for their needs, or perhaps you need to identify ways to maximize the engagement with your product or service, or even just get everyone on your project team, including the stakeholders, to have a shared understanding of who you're really designing for and what problem you should really focus on solving. The following will describe some persona use cases. Here are some instances in which personas can be applied. For customer insights and reporting, so this is getting to know your audience, your users, and your customers better. Any sort of creation activities, such as using the persona information to create better products, content, and marketing communication. Or perhaps you need to experiment using your personas. This could be to ensure that the channels and offerings align with your user needs, prediction of popularity for a product, or even experimentation and optimization of a current product. You can also use personas for strategic decision-making. So these could be areas such as strategic marketing and sales strategies. So what are the actual elements that make up a persona? There's several elements that you can find within a persona, and these elements include a persona group. This could be something such as the motivated optimist or the socially minded academic. It's just a phrase to describe the persona that you're referring to, and easy to go back to and refer to as well. A fictional name, this is something that you can make up. Job titles and major responsibilities. Demographics such as age, education, ethnicity, and family status. The goals and tasks that your persona is trying to complete. Their physical, social, and technological environment. A quote that sums up what matters most to your persona as it relates to your product. Again, this quote can be made up. And a photo representing that specific user. And again, that does not have to be a real photo of a real user. So now that we have all this information, let's talk about how we can actually build a persona. I'm going to take you through a step-by-step guide on how to build a personas. In the initial phase, in step 1, you should be looking for white papers, previous research, analytics, and statistics about the customer group or groups that you're going to be focusing on. If time allows, you can also run your own research during this phase. This may include interviews, focus groups, or surveys. After you have completed your research gathering, you should segment your audience. It is important to keep in mind that a persona is a collective image of a segment of your target audience. It cannot represent everyone, nor can it be just one single person. You need somewhat of a golden middle. In step 3, you're going to look at thematizing your research findings. Based on your audience segmentation, you can now thematize these findings. There's different ways to do this. Some like to do it in an Excel spreadsheet, and others like to use more advanced programs such as Trello to organize their research. In step 4, you're going to look at setting the demographic info. Inside this section, you should include the most basic of things such as name, a photo, age, marital status, job, income, and residence. Now, in step 5, you want to focus on describing your persona's background. You want to give a brief description of who this person really is. The more, the better is the rule of thumb here. Write down everything you know about your persona's background. However, do try to avoid unnecessary information that is not related to your project and thus may cause cluttering. There should be an area on your template dedicated to the goals that your persona is trying to achieve. Defining persona goals is extremely important because it allows you to see how your goals align with the goals of your customers. Goals may be related to how the customer wants to receive information, web preferences, and even their product preferences. Another section within your persona should be dedicated to the motivations and pain points of your customer. This is so you can understand how your product or service fits into your customers' lives. Some basic questions you should consider answering are: why are they buying or using this product or service? What job are they trying to get done with it? And what problem are they really trying to solve? The final step is to organize everything into your template. And if you have time, you should probably consider validating your new persona with subject matter experts and users. You can find templates online or even create your own. But what if there isn't enough time? Then we look at something called empathy mapping. Known as empathy maps or 10-minute personas, they serve as a very lean user persona. What you do is you use existing knowledge about your customers along with stakeholder feedback to create a quick sketch of what really defines your audience. Quick and basic empathy maps will offer you valuable insight and uncover potential opportunities that you may have not seen before. This is what an empathy map looks like. It really aims to outline what your customer segment is thinking, feeling, seeing, doing, and hearing when interacting with your product or service. It is usually done collaboratively with other team members, stakeholders, and subject matter experts, but you can also consider doing one on your own.